guys, it's Bones. Welcome to another day. This is Edge of Eternity. I know it's coming out a little bit late. I've had some technical issues that I've overcome. And I wound up spending most of my day proofreading and getting my apartment squared away. I'm still working on that. So, Edge of Eternity, what is it? Well, this is the game I'm going to be recording on Wednesday nights, or Wednesday afternoons, and then uploading on Wednesdays. So, as you can see in the top left-hand corner here, it is in early access. This game is a production by a small team of 9 indie developers. So it's a very small team, but it's about every week. Now, I'll actually say every 2 to 3 weeks, they're rolling out bug fixes and patches, and every year they're adding a little bit more to the story. So it's still very much in development. Take that for what it's worth. I do, however, love this game. It's got kind of this Final Fantasy feel without just being Final Fantasy. I am going to draw a lot of parallels, though, between it and Final Fantasy, because you can tell they took some inspiration. The progression system, I like these characters. I like seeing them interact. The dialogue isn't constant cringe, which is saying something for a Japanese-style RPG like this one. It has a really interesting combat system that's going to get really deep. You'll see what I mean. Awesome. As you can see, it does have mod support, and there's not a big modding community right now. There's actually only a handful of mods in the Steam Workshop, but it's a game, I think, that has a lot of promise. It has a few things it has to overcome, though, still. Mostly due to character animations, but you'll see what I mean. This game doesn't have a whole lot of, as far as, like, performance issues. Graphics settings. You can see here, bear in mind, my laptop is a Asus Republic of Gamers from 2010, and this game just came out last year in its alpha state. And these are the stats I'm running with, or the settings I'm running with, rather. So as you can see, you can actually get some decent stuff out of it without a hardcore gaming machine. These days, my computer is probably equivalent to your typical, just run-of-the-mill, slightly above average spec laptop. And, yeah. I have played a little bit of this game. Like I said, I had some technical issues. I didn't know about them until I finished recording because OBS decided to capture my hotkey twice. Yes, why do you do this to me? So, let's go through this. Go ahead and hit new game, and we're gonna go straight into it.
30 years ago, strange metal airships appeared in our skies. We didn't know who they were, nor what they wanted. They first presented us with gifts, small tokens of their incredible technology. In exchange, all they wanted was food. Then they asked us permission to mine our soils. And finally, they wanted to take our crystals from us.
Final Fantasy parallel.
We refused. They answered with fire. A slaughter. The consort took into his hands to organize the resistance, recruit the people, band them together, train them to form an army capable of facing such an overwhelming power. At the price of many sacrifices, we finally broke through their defenses and managed to turn the tide. We were beginning to win this wretched war. That's when it struck. The corrosion. It quickly spread through our ranks, poisoning our bodies, twisting our limbs, warping us into some terrible caricature. Half organic, half machine. But we wouldn't yield. Despite the fatigue, the sickness, the hunger. Then, I got a letter from my sister. She told me that our mother had caught the corrosion. What would you have done in my place? Yeah, I thought so too. During one of the Arcalites' most ferocious attack, I slipped my dog tags on someone else's body, and I slipped away. That's how I became a deserter. My sister and I were determined. We wouldn't leave our mother to die such a terrible death. But everything comes with a price.
Alright, so as you can see, these loading screens go by pretty quick. There's usually a frame hiccup when a new area loads in. And last time I had an issue loading into the Krelk Forest. So we'll see what happens this time.
A snowstorm! Just our luck!
Come closer, Darian! I can't hear you!
So, welcome to the game. As you can see, it is quite lovely.
If this storm keeps up, we won't make it to Hirelsor. We have to take shelter, Celine.
I know the perfect place for that. It's also a shortcut.
You can't mean... Well, that's just great. How much time do we have? To save Mom, I mean.
She was stable when we left. I bought us some time. A few months, I think. After that, I fear the pain will be too much to endure. Even for her.
No time to lose, then. I just can't wait to be there.
Sarcasm?
No, I'm just cold.
So I know it's kind of hard to tell, but Darian's actually turning to face Celine right now. I'm not really sure why he won't look away from her.
Did you ever see someone die from the corrosion?
Yes. What about you?
I have.
No need to talk about it further, then.
Even if she's putting on a brave face, I'm sure Mom's sickness must weigh heavily on her shoulders.
Come. The entrance is just over there.
Alright, there we go. Come on.
You told me yesterday that we were going to Hirelsor. Is there some kind of cure to be found there?
Not exactly, but I have a trustworthy contact there with reliable information.
How trustworthy exactly?
I would trust him with my life.
I wasn't expecting such a dramatic answer.
So, first of all, the character models. Superb. I love these character models. And I love the armor setup. Come on. Give me a decent... Or not armor setup. I love the way the armor looks. It's practical while also being creative. Celine, you'll get a better look at her armor here in a little bit. We can't do anything with like opening menus right now. We'll get there though. Don't worry, we'll get there. One step at a time. There's just the slightest little bit of a frame issue if I spin the camera too fast. And a part of it is just because...
So, Darian, how does it feel being back here after all these years?
A little anxious. I wonder if it is still around.
Ah, I know who you're talking about.
Really? That thing alone killed half of the miners who worked here. Where did I get the stupid idea I could avenge them all by myself?
Don't forget the part where I come to the rescue.
No chance I could forget that, especially with you around to remind me.
There we go. There, now you can see Celine. So, like, even Celine has actually a really cool outfit. Like, I actually really like it. I could see someone wearing that. Yeah. Gonna open that up. Got a potion. This here is a save point. We can left click to save. You can see where I was playing just a little bit ago. Overwrite that. And we can press T to teleport, but there's nowhere for us to teleport to. Probably the biggest thing that's holding this game back right now is the...
This strip sure takes me down memory lane.
Well,
Isn't that...
animations.
My old wooden sword. Yes. I had to drop it during our escape, remember? Celine, watch out!
All right, so this is combat.
I will commend
So
your
this
soul
is
to the
kind
gods.
of like Final Fantasy 12, except it's a JRPG. So, I'll go ahead and skip this for now. I'll just explain as we go. So, the white bar that you see, yeah. The white bar that you see is the ATB. The faster a character is, the faster that fills. It goes in turn order from whoever fills first. So in this case, it will be Darion, then this Gurn, and then it'll either be that Gurn or Celine that goes next. Some abilities have a cast time. Spells, I think, all have a cast time. So that'll completely consume your ATB, and then there's a cast time that charges up. But to offset that, spells are extremely powerful. You'll see what I mean. We don't have any spells right now, though, so we can either attack, we can skip our turn, which puts our character into a defensive stance. We have ethers. Oh wait, no, sorry, we have potions for Darion. And we have resurrects, which is kind of like a phoenix dam. In the top left-hand corner up here, you'll see there's some information. Come on. So this tells us what it can target. This tells us the range. How long it takes to cast. I don't know what fatigue does yet, and power is just kind of a real quick, how much of your maximum damage can you do? We can use left and right shift to pan the camera, which becomes more important later on when the hex system is introduced. Right now it's not a thing, which also means that the range isn't really a thing that we have to worry about. So for now, let's just take a swing. So this guy. The green bar obviously is HP. This blue bar down here is our MP. Here in the bottom right hand corner, our HP is to the left. And then the red glow that you're seeing around the enemies, that's just who we're targeting. Above them, you'll see a bunch of question marks. You can also see it up here in the top left. What that is that is the elements. And that's telling us that information is revealed as we deal damage, and it'll tell us things like, are they currently vulnerable to it? Are they resisting it? That kind of stuff. Time is a thing in this game. Not right now, but it is brought in once we beat our first boss. Time and weather are linked, and the time of day it is plus the weather causes different not attributes, elements to get buffs or debuffs. Some enemies, as I recall, they'll have different abilities. Different enemies will get different resistance bonuses, or they'll get weaknesses. It's really interesting, and it requires a lot of time to get used to. Okay, not a lot of time. I got used to it in about 10 minutes, which is pretty good. This game has a very good way of easing you into all of its functions, especially with combat. So, combat result. Here we've got our characters on the left side. Their weapons also gain experience points as they go. It'll introduce all that. The rating is down here in the bottom left, and then the time and hair is how much money that we earned. We left click, and that'll bring us to, ooh! I've never gotten that before. So, we got a blood crystal. I don't know what that does. The last time I played through it gave me a potion. Let's find out what that does.
You okay, Celine?
A bit surprised, that's all. I didn't expect that these mines would still harbor golems after all these years.
And they're just as ferocious as before. It's a good thing you already knew how to use magic, else we wouldn't be here to talk about it.
And on top of that, I was the one who dealt with Mom afterwards.
What can I say? You're a saint, Celine.
So this is just giving us a real quick breakdown. So we do get more money and drops based on how long it takes us to finish a fight, and that's judged against its difficulty. Can't access the inventory yet. Crystals are used in powering up our characters. It's kind of Final Fantasy X-ish, or like in the with its sphere grid. It's kind of like that. You'll see what I mean. Because we're about to find out all about that.
I never understood how the crystals worked anyway. I mean, I learned how to use them, harness their power and all that, but as for the source of their powers, beats me.
Weren't you instructed in the way of the crystals during your military training?
We were expected to fight, not ask questions. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound bitter.
Do you want to talk about it? The front lines, I mean.
Maybe another time, if you don't mind. I'd rather have you explain the crystals to me.
So, this is just going over stuff I'm about to go over with you guys. So, we just got a Shining Shard. It's our first crystal. We'll go over that in a sec. That gave us a real quick breakdown. You can press Y or Tab on the keyboard. Here on the left side are all the menus that we can go into. Here we have our active characters. It looks like we can have up to 4 party members, maybe. And then we can have reserve members. I don't know what energy is. That's how much money we have next to it, there in the bottom right. How long we've been playing the game, and our zone are to the left. Let's go straight into crystal. So, we picked up a red crystal, which means it has to go into a red slot. If you play Final Fantasy X, this is kind of what I was talking about with the sphere grid. You have to use the right color crystal in order to open up the right slot. It's also kind of like Final Fantasy XII, though, in that just the layout, I guess. So let's switch characters. Go to Celine, because we picked up one for Celine. Hang on. So weapons, crystals. So Shining Shard. Shining Shard. Crystal. As you can see, it has a stat bonus there on the right side. It's going to add 1 to the magic and 5 to MP when it's used. So whatever slot we put that in, that slot will also, or that crystal will be giving us 1 magic and 5 MP as long as it's in that slot, as well as the Fire Rift 1 magic spell. That can only, or this crystal can only be used by Celine, and it inflicts magic damage on the enemy when we use Fire Rift. Now, I might have that second to last part there wrong. It might be possible that we can equip that on Darien, but he won't have Fire Rift. So he'll only get the magic and MP. Let me look at that blood crystal. Here we go. It's just a consumable. But it's green, so it's rarer. Okay. So, switch characters. So if I highlight one, you'll see that it's one of these slots. You'll see that it has a few things of information. So, Ember of Strength is that biggest one. That's the first one. Every weapon, you have to start with the biggest one. When we open that slot up, when we access it, it'll, in this case, give us plus 1% to our physical damage. There to the right, it'll tell us about the crystal that we have installed to it. Right now we don't have one, so we're going to install the Shining Shard. Bam! So now, you can see everything about that slot and the crystal that's slotted into it. Now, these 2 slots here, this yellow one and this red one, have opened up. The red one is going to give us plus 10% to our magic damage. Celine is obviously our caster, so we definitely want her to be getting as much magic damage out as possible. And then these ones here are defenses. One's magic defense. Come on, there we go. Left click and drag, by the way. That's how you do that. So the blue one here is magic defense, and this green one is physical defense. Now, that's not the same for all of them. So, like, this one down here at the very bottom is physical defense. If I go up to this one to the left, it's increasing our magic damage. So you definitely have to be careful. The color of the crystal has to match the slot. So once we have an orange or a yellow one, we can put it in here. Or if we check Darian's, what do you know? He needs a yellow one to start on his stuff. Now, it's not just physical and magical attack and defense and whatnot. No, Darian actually has an interesting one called Mystery Berserker. give 10% chance. There is a chance to cast a spell corresponding to the element of the crystal inserted into the character's weapon. Following a physical attack, remove spells embedded in the crystal. So I'm not sure how that one's going to behave, but I kind of want to move towards it first. There we go. Had a double tap escape. So we're going to go up the ramp. So we're about to go into our first boss fight. Let me make sure this thing's actually recording real quick, because last time it... Okay. Yeah, it's actually recording correctly. So, this is kind of like a boss gate, and I love the designs. Very alchemic, very witchcrafty. We used Fire Rift on the energy wall. Hi. And it's time for our first boss fight.
To think this sad piece of work haunted my nightmares for years.
You sound disappointed.
Yeah, he's smaller than I remembered him. Uglier, too. Hey, isn't he wounded?
Years don't seem to have been kind on him. But don't let your guard down. I don't want to have to take another blow for you.
Remember us, creep? 10 years I've been waiting for this.
I loathe to use
Alright.
the Force this way.
So, this time...
He's badly worn out. We can do this!
Its magic is almost completely depleted. It is holding up by the sheer strength of its will.
So, let's test out our new spell. Oh, and it's worth mentioning, Celine has ethers, Darian has potions. So, we're gonna press 1 to use our firebolt, or our fire rift. In the top right there, you can see all of this information. You can see it has a cast time of medium, not instant like attack does. So watch this ATB in the bottom right hand corner here, and you'll see it turns red once we decide to cast it. Bam, it's red. Now spells can be interrupted by physical attacks. This comes into play more when we have hexes to work with also. Again, the game will introduce it to us. Just be patient. So I'm going to go ahead and smack this guy before he gets another chance to attack. Before he gets a chance to attack. Now, that pink bar here of Celine, or purple bar here, that is her focus. If that goes all the way down to 0, the spell is cancelled. And that, I remember correctly, is based on how much damage she takes, not how many times she's hit. So if she gets hit 10 times, but each one's for 1 damage, it'll be less than if she got hit 1 time for 20 damage. Darian do his thing again. And as you can see, that spell ate up quite a bit of Celine's MP. She had 1,258, I think. No. Yes. Yes, there it is, in the bottom left there. So we only have 5 more castings of that spell before we need to start popping ethers. And she's the only one that can pop an ether. Well, let's try something here. We can advance time by pressing space. What do you know? We can hold space and it'll slowly build up the ATB. This time we're going to cast it on the Dire Gurn and watch the question marks above its HP bar there. And you'll see that one of them will change. Whoosh! And we applied an effect. I believe that's burning damage. I don't know what it does, but we applied it. So, yay. Now, as you can see, we don't know how much HP it has, but we can tell that it is, I'm going to assume gray is neutral to fire damage right now. And then list of its effects. Or list of effects it's on. I'm going to kill this guy. Now, one nice thing about when you advance time, it advances time, but it's a little bit slower than if no one has any, it's a little bit slower advancement. than if the turn is simply going, which is nice. As you can see, that dire burn has done a lot of damage to Celine, and it just took 5 damage from that burning effect. Celine's not in any damage or in any danger right now. We'll go ahead and finish this with one more spell. Whoosh. And it's dead. That's how we do things. So, we didn't get any experience, we didn't get any hair from it, but that's just because, hey, it's the first boss. And we got an antidote. Removes poison status from an ally. I gotta stretch. Ugh.
At least I can put that episode behind me. Now, all we have to do is cross the Krog Forest, and we'll reach Hiralsor in the,
Don't be so eager to change the subject, Darian. Even if we destroyed that creature, you still owe me your life.
Oh, come on. That was a long time ago. It's history now.
Is that so? Should I remind you that because I saved your life, Mom learned about my powers and sent me to the cloister against my will? 8 long years of...
Oh, I knew you'd say that. I'm sorry, all right? Is that good enough for you? Can you let it go now?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll let it go. I won't bring it up again.
Thank you.
I'm just saying you owe me your life. That's all.
There we go. So, that's the first boss. I need to double check to see how long we've been recording, you guys. Now, last time I played through this little section here, when I was trying to record it before, it got stuck here. Let's see if it does that again. Otherwise, we're just sitting here chilling out, listening to some baller music. Well, it was doing a thing. So every time this little scene there changes, I can just barely see our character. Oh. I hear a sound. I heard a thing. Come on. Come on. Okay. Ah. When an element is highlighted means that... Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so when I was talking about how time affects elemental damage, that tip there was just talking about that. So if it's highlighted, an enemy is taking double damage from it. But if it's circled in red, the damage is going to be halved instead. So that's going to be important to remember because the time of day will change what elements are most effective. Come on. This is disappointing. Ah, game, why you do this to me? I just wanted to play some Edge of Eternity with the beeps, and you're not letting me. So, let me try something here. Nope. Okay, so let's just report this bug real fast, send it to the developer, see what happens. And see if it fixes itself in the meantime, because I remember the first time I played through this game, way back when, and by way back when I mean like November, when I played for that first 40 minutes of it, and then said, you know what, I'm gonna stream this one day, or record it one day. It did something similar, but it just took time. Infinite loading screen. Screen does not hang on, I got this. Loading does not finish after killing Diagern in the abandoned mine in the very beginning of the game. Bam! And hopefully they can do stuff with that. So for now, let's pop back to the main menu and see if reloading fixes it. Sometimes bugs are kind of tricky like that. And all they really take is for you to reload. Yeah, we're just gonna skip that. Load game. And reload. Let's see if this fixes it. Wow, this is interesting. Huh. Edge of Eternity, people. Fix your game, please. Because I do love this game, you guys. I swear, it was not doing this when I first played it, and I'm going to keep trying to find a way to get around this, because I love this game, and I want to play it with you guys. And I think you guys will enjoy it too. In the meantime, yeah, we've been recording for just about 30 minutes now. Hang on. We're just gonna listen to some baller music. So it's been about 30 minutes, so we're gonna go ahead and bring this recording to a close. If you guys liked this game, let me know. I'm going to keep trying to find a way to get past that little loading issue. And in the meantime, a huge shout out to Fiaura the Tank Girl and to Spitfire for letting me advertise on their channels. Tomorrow, join us at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for the return of the Platonic Lesbians in Borderlands. SlasherCass and I are going to resume murdering our way through, or across Pandora, rather. That'll be her last stream for quite a while. She's leaving for training basically the next day. So, if you guys can join us, fantastic. We'll be streaming for about 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, somewhere in there. Yeah. You guys take care, stay awesome, and see you next time. Peace.